Workshop portion of the city council meeting to order. Roll call.
Mrs. Bastelli?
Here.
Mr. Pallone?
Here.
Mr. Sirianni?
Here.
Dr. Sally? Here. Mrs. Billings?
Here.
And I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspapers in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and posted as required by law.
Thank you. First item on our agenda are parking meters. Director Roebuck.
I didn't know if we had anything left to talk about, unless you guys have questions. I sent around the emails last week about it, and I think we all agreed where we were going. So unless we have questions, I'm good. I don't know if you guys are good, but I'm good.
Anybody have any questions for
Joe, you
Director?
want to just, for the purpose of being here, outline what it is?
Sure, we're going to, like we discussed earlier, we're going to raise the prices in Pier Village to try to get the spots to turn over faster. We decided after talking to the traffic department and also several members sitting here that $4 they thought was a little too high. So we're going to $3 an hour on the weekends and $2 an hour during the week. Everything else will stay the same. There'll be no time limit. And we're going to give that a shot this year and see if that helps the problem and reduces the complaints that we've had.
So there's going to be no time limit during the week or on weekends as long as everybody pays
Correct.
the hour.
Yep.
Are you able to, if you're going to pay by cash, you can just put as much money or credit card?
You should be able to,
as you
yep.
want?
Yeah, there should be no limit, so you can park there for a while if you want to pay the fare. And we're still going to have the lot open that we had last year at the same price, so hopefully people will go down there and park, so that'll be a lot cheaper than parking in the spots there for Pure Village.
All this will be lettered, shall we say? So everybody knows how much they have to pay on signage. is the
Yes,
word.
yes, we're gonna change the signage to say no time limit and just change the amounts and that's it. Everything else is good.
Do we add any meters or not? Do we
No.
decide not to? We decided not to.
We decided not to.
Okay.
Although you added on the west side there of Ocean Avenue.
Yes, we're gonna add just some spots on the west side of Ocean Avenue between Seaview and Jeline. I actually drove by the other day, and there's gonna be some there, but not a lot. And we already have the meters in place there on the other side of the street. So,
We just have to number the spot.
yeah, we didn't want to do anything else this year with the meters, and we'll talk about what we want to do next year to buy some more when we finish up with the boardwalk and everything down there.
Jay, by ordinance, what's the start and end date of metered parking season?
May 1st and September 30th. Yeah. So that's why we want to get this through tonight, so we can get it done and passed, and everything will be in place by May 1st. We don't have to switch the prices mid-season, yeah.
Good.
Any other questions for the director? No. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Boardwalk update, Mr. Woolley?
We're down to the punch list items. We've got the opening scheduled for the 19th at
3:30.
3:30, West End, Wilmington. It's moving right along.
Any idea when the concession stands will open?
They've been down there, Stan, you had them down there,
2
right?
weeks about. Well, when they're open, they'll be completed in about 2 weeks,
Okay.
hopefully. And we
No,
gotta
they-
get,
They've been, the folks that leased them have been,
put his stuff in.
Well, they've been down there already.
you
Yes.
know, looking at it to measure it up and get fitted out. We're hopeful they'll be open, you know, sometime in May.
Any questions?
Yeah, I had a few questions, just a few people asked me, I don't know if you have the answer to all this. The intensity of the lights, are they adjustable or the direction to some extent?
Yeah, they've been directed so that they cover the street and the sidewalk on the west side so we can get rid of the cobra heads. Somebody complained it was too bright in their apartment.
Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering, and then is the intensity, again,
No, I don't
I'm not
think-
suggesting.
I don't think the intensity is.
They were just
No,
curious.
it is, the wattage is what it is, they're LEDs, which kind of, I don't know, does that bump them up or take them down, Fred?
Well, when did you receive that complaint?
A couple days ago.
Was it maybe prior to him turning?
No, I think it was post.
Because now that
Initially,
they're
there
all
was more
turning
light
out.
on the boardwalk than there was on the street.
I mean, there was a couple of
one
windows that
Fred
were
was,
shining right in.
one was a complaint, one was just an inquiry. They're wondering if
Yeah.
that intensity, like individually, can be controlled.
No,
No.
that's a fixed LED light.
Okay. A couple more questions. There was a rumor that there's going to be parking along Ocean Avenue between Brown and Howland.
No.
No, right?
No, we're gonna probably leave, Brown, Allen, and, what's the other one? Bonifort closed off. Because we're trying to figure out exactly what to do down there as far as that loop that used to go from Howland down to West
Right.
End. We'd like to eliminate that if at all possible.
So that's undecided at this
That's
point.
undecided at this time, as is the permanent configuration of Ocean Avenue from South Bath all the way up to Morris.
Right.
You know, it's gonna be open for vehicle traffic, whether it's one-way, two-way, what, we're gonna kind of, you know, go along, because the roadway's a little narrower now, we had to bump
Right.
everything to the west a little bit.
Bike path?
There'll be a bike path, delineated on the closed portion of the roadway from South Bath down to Brighton.
That's going to be on the east side, I assume, right? Close, adjacent to the boardwalk?
I don't know, we'll have to figure it out, but there will be a dedicated bike path there.
Okay.
That may not be at the time, we're trying to get the boardwalk open, and a lot of these things will follow suit.
Bike racks, I guess, will come down at some point.
Freddie's a big fan of bike racks, we'll get a couple of those down there.
Yeah, we'll have bike racks. Well, we gotta design them into the entranceways.
Yeah,
It's yet to come.
And then the benches, I assume that wherever those concrete pads are without the indentation, in other words, where the curb is flat, that's access from the street to the
Yes.
thing. And then wherever there are sort of curbed concrete pads,
They're either gonna be garbage or benches,
garbage or bench. Do we have any idea how many benches are going to be down
it
there?
was 40
something like that, yeah.
From
The exact
from
number.
Brighton
to Morris.
to Morris will be
Morris.
about 40.
Yep.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. And the last question somebody asked was at the curbs, such as at Avery Matilda Cottage where it stops. What are there going to be a few benches there as well or not? And are they going to put some sort of curbing there or
It's not
something?
gonna be a curb as of yet. Right now, we're working with
We're
the
looking at
engineers.
those, we're looking at those
to
street
design
ends. We've got
something.
some Green Acres money
Right.
to do that. We're gonna do Brighton first. We've got a kind of a rough design to do like a little cul-de-sac down there. And then we wanted to move north and do the rest of it.
Meaning there might be something
Yeah.
decorative there
Yes.
or whatever.
We've
Eventually,
gotta
yeah,
see
right
how
now,
to-
they're just gonna have, those orange barriers are gonna go there just to stop the traffic for now.
Right, right.
The road will remain a construction site for another year, or at
I
least
see.
listed as a construction site, so we can continue to do these improvements, the roadway improvements. And then once we get to that point design-wise, then we'll, you know, we
Yeah,
didn't want to put any curb in and destroy the road
You may
surface.
remember, Jake was instrumental in getting some money from Green Acres to improve both the southerly part of the closed-off section of the roadway from South Bath to Brighton, and the northerly portion from Madison to Ocean Terrace, correct? And we said we need to do the FEMA work first. You know, my grandiose plan was to do both of the things together,
Right.
but we couldn't commingle the funds. So we got to do the FEMA work first, and then once that's all buttoned up, then we can come back with the Green Acres stuff and kind of dress up, you know, the rest of the street ends, put some additional benches there, maybe put some shade structures at the end of the streets, and do some stuff up north, definitely repave that roadway north of Madison. I'm playing my song here, I lost track. Not that my concentration is that great, but.
Okay, that's
So
great.
that's the plan, and we've got, you know, some funds available for that. We've got to see how far that goes. you know.
All right, thank you.
Really
It looks great.
Yeah, we really want to
Really
kind of dress
great.
up that Brighton Avenue entrance, and we had Tom Bauer do a design, but we got to talk to the university about it because it's going to encompass maybe them giving us a couple feet of property, but we'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank
we're
you.
in the negotiation stages on that.
The little plants there that I see along the, do they grow much larger or?
They're supposed to.
John, we did a punch list walkthrough today, Stan, myself, and Charlie, and the engineer, and that's one of the items on the list where some of them look like they're not, like they're in desperation, so
Mhm.
we have to, we're gonna have them address that, but other than that, everything else looks
Yeah, it's
phenomenal.
amazing. You know, it's
Because we
great.
wanted to have some plantings between the curb and the boardwalk to dissuade people from walking over that
Right.
berm, if you will, bluff. And we also wanted to put some plantings in the bluff on the east side of the railing to kind of dress it up and to also ensure that the sand stayed there and didn't get blown away.
Yeah. No, it's great. You have all those access points, which are really nice, directly from the street.
Yeah. But there will be people who will not use them. You know, it's just like a garbage can. The garbage can could be sitting right here and people drop the garbage on the ground. That's unfortunately.
There'll be people that won't like the.
You may want to talk to Richard Lee about some of those programs that he's involved
Yeah.
with the plants. Because I'm sure that he's involved with programs that have grants involved with getting improved.
Be happy to talk to them.
Any other questions for Mr. Woolley? Okay, our last item is the review of the regular meeting agenda, and I would like our attorney to give us a little overview of this ordinance regarding the easement. There's been some confusion. If you could do that, please.
You're talking about vacating the easement one bit.
That's correct.
Right, so, let me just point out where it is. There's an easement from back.
Yeah, it's just property right here.
So there's an easement, which means a right to pass over that property to gain access for the purpose of constructing a jetty. Not to the ocean, not to sit on the beach, not for anything else. The easement is for the purpose of bringing, and it actually, I can't tell the date of the easement, but obviously it's a long time ago.
1938.
1958, because it
38.
mentions.
38.
38, it mentions,
I was around back then.
what did it say? Stone, the core and stone works to be located adjacent to the water there. And it talks about, I guess it was animals, plow animals that could bring in the material or the equipment. So the easement is not for anything other than the purpose of allowing access to and from and bringing of materials to build the jetty. It's clouding their title. There's no jetty immediately off the property. There's one a little to the I guess that's
Well, it's
the
on the
north.
north side.
Yeah, it's on the north side there. There's access.
Old or new?
Yeah. So, yeah, to the north side there. Obviously, it's been notched as part of the, I guess it's part of the replenishment.
Well, it will be notched probably as part of the beach replenishment.
That's coming now.
What does that mean, notched?
They'll take some of the stone out, I think, I don't know, I need to take a look at it. But we have a public access easement here at Plaza Court, which is one lot to the north, and another public access easement in Adams, which is 100 feet to the south.
What street is that?
This is Adams. This is the one where we added the parking spaces up here. And then this is Plaza, which is an active access point during the summertime because you actually have beach there now. After this summer, there'll be beach all along there. And we did have people utilizing this last summer because we got some complaints about the garbage down there and Stan and Freddie had to go down and pick up garbage. So
So
we
Larry,
have two public access points north and south. This one, and it's really not a public access.
Yeah, the only reason anybody would be using it now is because it's a vacant lot. But, so the purpose isn't for public access, so that's not what you're giving. You have access points right next to it, either side, as Chubby said. And then there's also, interestingly, there's intervening land between the vacant lot and the ocean, which is owned by the Army Corps because they deposited sand. So You have to, it's not like anybody has direct access without going over somebody else's property anyway, but.
So Larry, let's be clear. In other words, that was private property. The owners of the city went to the owners of the property in 1938 with the intention of constructing something on the ocean, be it a jetty or whatever. So they went to the private property owner and asked them if they could have access for the sole purpose of moving equipment, not for a public easement for the public to use to gain access. Is that correct?
That's correct. I mean, I'll read you the specific language. It says, pass on foot or with animals, animal loads, or otherwise from Ocean Avenue to the low water mark of the Atlantic Ocean for the purpose of erecting, constructing, maintaining, renewing, and reseeding a core and stone jetty works to be located on said premises, extending into the water, I'm paraphrasing, the waters of the Atlantic Ocean. Together with the right to use that portion as may be necessary to prosecute the work and maintain it. So it's got nothing to do with anything else other than the construction and maintenance.
Why
of
would
the
that not
jetty.
have an end date on it?
I
I guess because you didn't know, so it would just be open-ended?
Yeah, it would just be open-ended. I don't think anybody, I mean, if that's the jetty that was part of construction, it's still there. Some of it's still there, but, nobody, jetties are passé now.
Right.
They're not constructing
And why
anymore,
would the
not maintaining.
property owner be concerned with this now then? Just to clean
With
it
it,
up?
right, because there's a quote cloud on title, and sometimes insurance companies say, we'd have to, because anytime you buy property or sell property, you want to get a clean title, which means nobody has a claim or a right or an interest
Or a
in your
lien,
property, or a lien or anything. And a title company would pick this up and say, this thing is outstanding. If it's a judgment, go pay it. Or if it's a lien,
Easement.
go address it.
Address it.
And here, there's an easement that's not being used and doesn't serve a purpose anymore. Get it taken care of.
The last thing is then, we know nothing about that state-owned property there, which is either attached to that or whatever?
I'm not sure.
The little.
Oh, you mean the
little
piece at the end?
little
The
piece,
P to
yeah.
the east?
I know the owner is talking about acquiring it from the state. They've made it free.
Why would they have it in the first place?
The state?
Again, I think it was something that they obtained and retained when the jetties and seawalls, when the bulkheads were being constructed, but I don't have anything to.
It's from 1939. They probably maybe had, could they have put a station out there?
No, I don't think so. I don't, well,
Don't you remember? That was like yesterday for you.
So this, on this property,
going back to the 1800s, I'm a little foggy. I'm good for 1938.
on this property, there is still the easement that was put there by the
By us.
beach replenishment,
No.
right?
No, there is a small lot. If you look at the map,
This property is not
East.
included in all the easements, all up and down?
Yes,
there's
that's
a
gonna be
small
done.
piece right here
Just
that's
in-
actually owned by DEP.
The only reason easements would be obtained from property owners is if they owned into the area where sand was being pumped. So it doesn't appear
So
that they own
none of
into
these
the area.
areas have that?
This particular lot doesn't.
Some people owned into the water or under the water, that's riparian. Some
Some
people
of
owned
these
to the high
other
water
properties
line.
down
Yes,
here
yes,
had
yes.
variance that we had to get easements for,
Right.
or Larry had to get easements from the owners
Mhm.
in order to get this, the Army Corps to move with the sand
But
removal.
this is a completely separate issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, the owner's attorney came to us and said, you've got an easement to build jetties there. It's screwing up our title.
Are they
Is there any way
trying,
that you could vacate that easement?
are they trying to sell the land or?
No, somebody's bought it.
So you didn't really know that there was an easement even there?
No.
So it's not
No.
part of any, when you compile your list of public access and easements, that was never on?
No, we've got our 25 public access points, which is up from, what was it, 13?
Really?
You know, back in the early 90s when we started. And we've added points. We've got the one by Breakwater.
Right,
We finally completed Park Avenue.
but that was
With the
never
help
part
of the
of
state,
any,
we got
that
Fisherman,
was never part of
Zodiac, and
any of
Garfield
this,
Terrace.
correct?
None of this. We never even knew there was a construction easement here.
Right.
So you
We
just
had-
always assumed it's private property?
Yeah, we had the easement at Plaza, the easement at Adams, the easement at Pullman, the easement that we put in at Breakwater.
Public access, through that
Yeah.
Massey development too.
public access through Tackanassi. There's one down at Elbron Bathing Club. And then Garfield is actually owned by the Garfield Terrace Association, but the DEP was very persistent, and they got them to allow fishermen to go through there. So there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 access points in the mile in Elbron, and then there's another 20 as you go north.
So this has
There's
nothing
7
to do with
presents.
easement?
And I'm not
getting
even
to-
counting 7 presidents in the
Just for
26.
just for construction.
It was a very
From
limited
1939.
easement for a limited purpose, which is not been used.
So how do we vote to take it off?
Well, the ordinance was introduced, so you've got it tonight. But I know there was some inquiries about it.
You'd be technically vacating, which means giving up your right to the easement. We're not gonna go further seawall.
I'm sure we're gonna hear
Jetty.
that.
Okay, any other questions on this item? Any other questions on the regular meeting agenda? Michael?
No.
John? Joy? Very good. Yes.
Was there an error in the other one?
There's a typo on the page.
Pardon?
There's a typo on the page, that's
Typo
correct.
on the page?
In the
Okay.
spelling or in the,
I need a motion to close workshop portion.
The first, not the ballot.
All in favor? Opposed? I need a motion to adopt a resolution to go into executive session for the following items: personnel matters, contract negotiations, police and fire department, contract negotiations PB3, Cure Phase 2, FEM, TDB, and shared services, and litigation, Green Acres and LB Partners.
Mrs. Bastelli?
Yes.
Mr. Palone?
Yes.
Mr. Siriani?
Yes.
Dr. Selly? Mrs. Billings?
Yes.